Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Claritysoft webinar. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020, and our topic for today is all things email. I'm Susan Arnold, Implementation Specialist here at Claritysoft. So our All Things Email webinar is going to cover everything that has to do with email in Claritysoft. Sending emails, saving emails back to the database, creating signatures, templates, and sending out email blasts. So let me go to my next slide here. First of all, we're going to talk about the two programs that allow you to connect your Gmail or your Outlook to Claritysoft so that you then can save emails to the database from your Gmail or your Outlook. So we have a Gmail extension and we have an Outlook plugin. So we'll review how you set those up in your Gmail and your Outlook, and then show you how to save the emails back to the database and where to place them, and then go view them in the database. Then the second part, we'll talk about the email setup in Claritysoft Live itself. First of all, your email settings. These would be your outgoing email settings that you use in either Outlook or Gmail that you set up inside of Claritysoft, and that allows you to send emails out of the database through your Outlook or through your Gmail to send those emails out to recipients. Of course, when you're sending emails out of Claritysoft, you want to have your email signature attached. So we will learn how to create and save an email signature so that anytime you open an email in Claritysoft to send it, your signature will automatically display just like it does in your Outlook or your Gmail. Then creating email templates. Email templates allow you to create text that you send out fairly regularly. And instead of copying and pasting it or retyping it, you can create and save templates that then you can open whenever you're ready to send an email to one or more people. And in those templates, you're able to insert fields that allow you to merge data, such as the person's name, the account name, and things like that. So we'll learn how to do that. Then we'll learn how to actually send emails singly or in what we call an email blast, which would be multiple emails going at the same time. And then lastly, we'll talk about the email manager, where you can view the tracking of your emails that you have sent out of Claritysoft and then see who has clicked on it, and it pings back to you so that you can see when they last read the email. So we will be covering all of those topics today. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. I will switch to my, let's see here, Claritysoft. Okay, so in Claritysoft, first of all, I wanted to talk to you about the Gmail extension and the Outlook plugin. If you have Gmail, you will install the Gmail extension in your Gmail, which will give you the Save to Claritysoft button. To do that, click on the Settings button up here in the upper right and go to, whoops, I'm sorry, don't do that. It's the question mark button I want. Go to the question mark button and then go to the knowledge base. And you will come to our home screen on the knowledge base. And then in the search for answers, type Gmail, and you can just type EXT, hit enter, and you will see CS Live Gmail extension. When you get to the topic, basically, if you follow these steps down through here, you will be able to successfully install this. So there's a little video here that you can watch that walks you through the steps. But basically, you says copy and paste this into your address bar in Google Chrome. If you do that, then it will take you directly to the Chrome Web Store and the Claritysoft extension. And you simply click Add to Chrome, and then you click Add Extension. When you open your Gmail, or actually when you go into your Gmail and click on the little icon that's there, you get this login window, because what you have to do is connect your Gmail to your Claritysoft database. So you type in your login credentials for your Claritysoft and then click sign in. And at that point, you are connected to your database. And then from there, you can begin to save emails from your Gmail back to Claritysoft. So if I pull my Gmail in here, I can see this Claritysoft icon up here at the top. So this is where I say, what are the locations within the database where I would like to save my emails? You can choose all of them. You can choose one of them, whatever. Probably you just want to choose them all. If you need to log out, I'll just log out so I can show you how you log in. So basically, this is the screen that we saw in the directions that will pop up, and you will enter your credentials. And I'm connecting this to my demo database. And then you just click sign in. You're now connected and you're ready to go. Now here it only says contact, so I'm going to say, nope, I want to be able to save to all these locations, and then click save. So at this point, if I compose a new email, and I'll just say this is a okay, so I'll just say test the email connection. Okay. And then when I want to send it, where am I here? How come I can't see this? Probably because it's not maximized. There we go. So I can come down to the bottom. Now, if I simply click send, it's going to send the Gmail out without saving it or giving you the option to save it to Claritysoft, which is fine. Maybe you don't want to save it to Claritysoft. You have you have the option to do that. Then down here, I would click on this button, and now it says, well, where do you want to save it? So in this case, I'm going to say I want to save it to a contact. And then it says, select from auto detected, search existing contacts, or create a new contact. So if I click on select from auto detected, it would find someone usually, because I have so many Susans in my database, I think it's all confused. So I can start to type Susan. Why is it not working? This is weird. Okay. Anyway, if I click save, I select. All right, something is deciding it doesn't want to work right now. Maybe I need to log out and log back in. Yeah, usually it does a search here. So hold on, folks. Let me close this. I am not sure why it is doing this, but we'll restart. All right, now let's open our draft. And then we're going to save it. Search existing contacts. Well, for some reason, let me check my login, guys. The Blessed Laid Plans. All right. Now let's see what we get. There we go. I must have typed something incorrect in the login. Okay, so select from auto detected. It found Sue Arnold at Odessa, and maybe that's where I want to go. So all I have to do is click save. Now, if it finds multiple people, then you would click in the checkbox for the one to select it. So now it's sending the email as well as saving it back to Claritysoft. All right, Randall, you're asking me a question. Is it possible to attach emails to sales? No, it is not. Not for the Gmail extension, okay? You can send emails out of Claritysoft from the sales module, but you cannot attach them back. That probably will come in a future version of the extension and the Outlook plugin, okay? So I have sent this, and it's in my sent folder. So right there, and then if I go back to my Claritysoft, which is here, and I look up, I'm going to go to accounts and look up Odessa because I have so many Susans, it'll be easier. And then if I click here and I go to closed activities where the emails are saved, and there is my email, new email from Gmail to test the connection on 11/24. So notice that the icon next to or for the activity is a G to indicate this was saved from Gmail. Here's another one saved from Gmail that was yesterday, okay? If you see the gold email symbol, that means that an email was sent from Claritysoft out. And if you see the Windows icon, then it was saved back from Outlook. So you would, by looking at this, you know what the source was for the email. And if I click on this to open it, then I can view the text of the email in here, okay? So when you're in your Gmail, you may choose to save any email back basically to any contact. If I go back to my Gmail and let me go in my inbox, and let's say I want to take this, well, here, we'll just do this one. I want to take this email that actually was sent to Susan, but I want to save it to somebody else. So this is already sent from my Gmail, and I didn't save it to Claritysoft when I sent it. So I have the option now here to save to Claritysoft after it's sent, okay? Or if I've received it. So I can click here, and then I can say, I want to save it to, let's do an opportunity this time. So here, when you're going for an opportunity, you can choose to type in the account name, the contact name, or the opportunity name. You do not need to put in all three. So I know the account name I'm looking for is Red Fox Media. So I choose that. And then I click search because it's going to search for the opportunities for Red Fox Media. So now I can see I have multiple opportunities here for Red Fox Media. And so maybe this is the one I want to save it to because this is the most current one in 2020. And then I just click in the checkbox to select that one and then click save. So I can save not only to the person the email is to or from, but I can save it to any other contact, any opportunity, any account in the database, okay? And sometimes this is really helpful when two of you might be communicating with each other about a particular customer that you have on a project or whatever you're working on, or on a sales opportunity. And so you're sending an email between the two of you, but you want to connect it to the actual opportunity, not to yourselves in the database. So you just choose where you want it to go. And as long as it can find the record, you can save it there. So that's how you do that. As we've learned, make sure when you log in, you type the correct credentials or it doesn't work, which makes perfect sense. So that's your Gmail. Again, just go to the knowledge base, look up Gmail extension and follow the directions to install it. And it's a very easy installation. All right, so the next one is the Outlook plugin. And basically, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the help system, which is actually already open up here. I'll return to my home screen and type in Outlook. And we have several Outlook plugins. We have an original, which is basically for the offline version of Claritysoft, but you can install it in Claritysoft Live if you wish. You don't really need to. And then we have the advanced. So most likely you're going to do the advanced one. This one only allows you to save to a contact record. It does not allow you to save anywhere else. This one allows you to save to the multiple locations like the Gmail extension. So I'm going to go here. And again, you walk through your steps. There's a little video. And then this is what the button is going to look like, okay? Now notice in this one, you can save to the project module if you have the project module. That is not yet available in the Gmail extension, but otherwise it's the same, okay? And then you walk through your installation. Now, this is the next thing you need to know. We have two versions of the plugin. One for 32-bit Outlook and one for 64-bit Outlook. So the first thing you need to do is figure out which version of Outlook you have. And the way that you do that, oops, I grabbed the wrong window, is in your Outlook, you go to File, you go to Office Account, and then you come over here and you click on About Outlook. And up here, it will tell you whether you have 32-bit or 64-bit. So that's what you need to do first. Once you know that, then before you start the actual installation, you want to close your Outlook. And then you'll come down here, oops, and you'll click on which download you want, okay? And then it opens up a wizard and basically walks you through steps where it starts the wizard and you click next, next, install, and finish. And then when you're done, you go back and you open your Outlook. And where did my Outlook go? Did I close it? I must have. Okay. You will have this button. Now mine, because it's not maximized, is showing the button here. Okay. So then that button will be on your home ribbon. Now, if for some reason it's not on your home ribbon, it's possible that Outlook decided it loaded too slowly and it disabled it. And then there are directions here for going in and re-enabling an add-in. So if it doesn't show up, look for it being disabled in the add-ins. If you're totally confused, call our tech support team and they will help you get it back. Or perhaps, well, if you figured out whether you have 64-bit or 32-bit, then you install the right version, it should show up. So it's just a matter of the add-in. Sometimes Outlook thinks it's too slow when it loads. And that says, oh, well, it delayed it by 1 second, so I don't like it. You just have to tell it to say it's okay. So that's there. And then you basically follow the same thing you did in Gmail. I want to save this email back to the database. So I click on it to select it. I come up here and say, I want to save it to, well, heck, let's save it to an account. So then you just start typing in the account name and it should find it. All right. Now, for some reason, now it's not finding this one. Oh, I know why. Excuse me, guys. This is connected to my real database. So I want to log out and log into my demo database. Now, later, I'll try to save something back to my real database and then it won't work. Okay, now it should work. Okay, so now if I want to save this to an account, I can start typing and notice it finds it now. Select it and save it. Okay, so again, it will save it successfully to your Clarity CRM. And if I go back to my Claritysoft and I type in Brambleberry tea and I look at closed activities, there is my email. Now notice it says no contact because I didn't save it. You know, it doesn't have a contact connection because I saved it to the account level. So probably my recommendation is to try and save it to the contact level for sure, because then it's automatically connected to the account. So this way, if you're saving emails back to your account, then you're going to have all these no contacts here and it won't show up anywhere else. So my recommendation is, you know, save it to the contact and then you'll have both. So I just wanted to show you that. That's why I did it that way. And then notice the Windows icon tells you this was saved from Windows or from Outlook. Okay, so that's how you do the Outlook plugin. Follow the directions in the knowledge base. Now, if you have a Mac or if you are using the web version of Outlook, then we have the Outlook 365 add-in. And so you go to that and then again, follow the directions. Here you're going to download it using the Get Add-ins option and then find it and download it and install it. So this will work on a Mac or if you're on a PC with the web version of Outlook. And basically it installs and it will work the same way pretty much as the Gmail. So you'll see the icon here, okay? So all types can be used. With your Gmail extension or with your Gmail, you also can set it up to synchronize with your Gmail calendar. So your Gmail calendar will sync to Claritysoft. And with the Outlook plugin, you can sync your calendar. You cannot sync your calendar with this, okay? So just so you know that. All right, so those are all the extensions, plugins, connections to make. The next thing, and that's saving emails from the outside back to Claritysoft. Then if you want to send emails out of Claritysoft, the next thing you need to do is go to settings, and Then under the My Settings, we have email settings. So this would be for you individually, okay, where you need to go and set up your email outgoing settings for either Outlook or Gmail, whatever you have, okay, or any other type of email service. When you get here, you have all the different ones to choose from. If you're on SMTP, then you can choose others and then put in the information for that. Now, this may already be set up for you by your admin user, because your admin user is able to go to here and then has a list of all of the users in the database, and then can set up each person's settings individually. But basically, you put in your name, you put in your email address, your server type. If you're on Outlook, Office 365 is Exchange server. If you're on Gmail, you go to Gmail, et cetera, okay? Then if the server version of current version is fine. You don't need to select anything else, okay? And then the Exchange server name, this works probably 5% of the time. You can type outlook.office365.com. And I have discovered that you do need to do it in all lowercase. I don't know why. Normally that doesn't matter, but it does in this instance. And then that, unless you have your own server domain, which you may have, so you might need to check with your IT person on this. You might have to type that in here, and then you click SSL, okay, and then you put your email address again and your email password. So this is very similar to setting this up on your smartphone, the same kind of connection. Once you're done, you click apply, and then you'll click save and test, and it'll either say it failed or it was successful in connecting. So if I go back to mine, I have my settings here, and I can click apply, and it will say save successfully. And then when I click save and test, it comes up and says your setup to your Exchange server is successful. So it either say failed, and if it says failed, then it's either this here where you need this, or your email password is incorrect. So, and then the thing that some of you I know once in a while people have to change their email password on a regular basis, like once a month or once every couple months. If you are doing that, you're going to have to remember to come in here and change your password every time you have to change it for your Outlook. And you'll need to put in the new password, save it with the apply, do a test to make sure it's functional, and then you will need to log out and log back in. So I just had that recently with somebody where they do change their passwords in their email once a month or once every quarter or something like that. So now once that's done, again, you log out, log in, and then you're able to send emails out of Claritysoft. So I can go to contacts, and right here I have an email address, so I can, well, here I'll do this. So I'm going to a real email address. So I can click on this, opens an email form. I can type a subject. And then type. Okay, and you'll notice my signature is already in here, so that's the next thing we're going to learn how to do. And then all I have to do is click send. So what will happen now is this goes out through my Outlook, so the email will be in the sent folder, and the email will be, oh, it hasn't refreshed yet, but it will be here once it sends and refreshes, okay? So that's how you can send a single email. You also can slide over here and say email contact. All right. Or you can open the record, and up here in the upper left corner, you have email. So any location that you want to start from works. All right. Let's see if it refreshed yet. Yeah, there it is. So there it is, send email, single email from CS. Okay. So once it sends, it updates it here, and it has the gold icon because it was sent from Claritysoft. All right. So that's setting up your email settings, sending a single email out to anybody, and you can type anything. So instead of going to your Outlook to send it, you can come right here and send it from within. Then if they reply back to you, you can go to your Outlook and save the reply back to the database and attach it to the person's record. Okay. All right. So next, we want to figure out, well, how do we create an email signature? So you go to settings. And again, there's a help topic in the knowledge base on creating a signature. But you click under my settings. All of you will have this. If you're not an admin user, you will see all of this information here. And so you go to email signature. And then on the right, you click add. And then you give it a name. Okay. And then you click in the body of the text here. And you can either start typing your signature, or you can go back to your Outlook or your Gmail, depending on where you are, and copy and paste your signature. So what I usually do is I just open a new email, and I like to go to the original location. So I go to signature, signatures, and then I copy this. Now we have a whole bunch of social media and other stuff here. I'm not going to go that far with it. So I'm just going to copy this. And I'm using Control C to copy. And then I can close this. And then I click in here, and I'm using Control V to paste. So it pastes the text in, but then the logo is not showing up. All right. So the next step is to get the logo to show up here. So you right click on the image, go to image properties, and you'll see this red X here. It can't display the image because it doesn't know where to find it. And here is the path name where the image is stored on my computer or wherever it is, okay? So I am going to right click on here and copy that link. Then I'm going to come up here to the tab that says upload, click on choose file, click in the file name, paste, and I'm using Control V again, and then click open. Now there's a name for the file, and what I do now is click send it to the server. Once I do that, it shows up here. All is good. Ignore the text that does not drop in, and all I do is click OK. So then my logo is here. And for some reason, I did this earlier today, it is coming in with a box around it, and I don't know why. Normally it doesn't. So anyway, it should just come in as your normal logo. Another way that you could put it in is you could come over here to this image, and then basically you're getting the same thing. And I would be able to go to upload again if I know where it is, and then choose the file and go find where the file is on my own computer if I know where it is, okay? And then when I choose the file, I don't even know what this is, probably it, I guess. and then send it to the server, it's the same one. So I get it. Okay. So you can find it using the image here and type your text and then put your image in, or you can use the other method that I did of copying from your Outlook over. I find it easier to copy from the Outlook, especially if I do all the little social media and all the other banner things that we have. I just have to right click on all those images and upload them all, and then it builds the signature. Now, the other thing you can do here, this, when it comes across, doesn't really have a font associated with it. It's just a plain old HTML font. So if yours is in a particular font, then you can choose it and you can set the point size to what you want it to be. And you can bold and you can change colors and do all those sorts of things. So you can make your signature look exactly the way you want it to look. And then if you click in the default here and click save, that will make this signature the default for when you open an email, okay? Now, after you do this one, you also do need to log out and log back in. So when you put in your email settings and you do your signature, you'll need to log out and log back in. See, can't type. I have a new computer and I'm still getting used to the keyboard. Okay, so now if I go to contacts and let me choose my list here. And let's say I want to send this to, I'll just send it to myself here. See how my signature comes in? It's ready to go. And all I have to do is click in here and type my text. And then I can type whatever I want. So that's, type whatever you want. And then you can type here. And then you can send, all right? So that's, you can type an individual email. Oh, I forgot to put a subject in. And then down here for insert signature, I had multiple signatures. So I can choose no signature. I can choose the best coffee's signature. Okay, so I can choose whatever signature I have saved in here to go. I think this is one that isn't done. No, see, that one doesn't have the little box, so I don't know. It's the same file, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Anyway, so that's how you create your signature, and then you're able to set it as the default signature and send an email. All righty. Okay, so we've got signatures, our emails are sending, and now we want to create a template. So you go back to settings, and email templates are an individual creation, so anybody can create them, any user, because they're under the My Settings. It does not have to be done by an admin person. But if there is a person who is very good at creating these templates, that one person can create all the templates and then share them with everyone else. And you can create as many templates as you need. So what you want to think about are, when are you sending out standard kinds of things? Like if you get new leads in, do you send out an email to welcome them as a new lead and say, we're happy you are interested and we'll contact you, whatever? You can create a template and then have it sent. So the salesperson can then pull up the template. So I've got something here. I don't know if it's any good. Okay, that's not what I want. But anyway, so you can create as many templates as you want and save them. And then the advantage to using the templates, first of all, is to save time. Second of all, to make it consistent so that all your people are using a consistent email, sending it out. So your company, just for your company image, it looks good. And then, those templates can then be used over and over again very easily. So what we're going to do, I have one here called Coffee Specials. I'm going to save you the grief of having to sit here and watch me type. So I'm going to copy this text. And you could have text in a Word document or somewhere and copy and paste it. So to create a template, click the Add button. And then you can give it a name. I can do this just so I know it was in November. Because I might do different templates each month. And I'm just going to copy this and paste this for the subject line. So this is the name of the template. This is the subject line. This is the folder where it's being saved. And if you don't have the marketing module, then the default folder is where you want it to go, okay? I think it's the only place you can put it. Then I can come down here and I can type my text. Oops, dumb me. Hold on, gang. Okay. There we go. So I have my text. Now I'm going to take this out. Okay. So I would type my text, greetings, all this text here. And then I could format it, make things bold, underline, whatever I want to do. And then what I want to do in a template is I want to make it so that it is addressed individually to each person who's going to receive it, because I might send out 20 emails at a time, or perhaps 50. So I don't want to just say greetings. I want to say greetings, Mary, or greetings, John, or greetings, Bill, or whatever. So what you do here is you click on this little green button, which is your Insert Fields button, and it gives you a list of the fields to insert. And you have two choices here, depending on what you've done in your own database. First name for sure you can put in here, because every contact should have a first name. Now, the salutation field in Claritysoft can be used for nicknames, okay? So if you have been consistent in your database of putting either the first name or a nickname for a person in the salutation field, and you can view the salutation field in your list view to confirm that there is data in all of the records for that field, then you can use the salutation field instead. Because, for example, somebody might be, her name is Melissa, but no one calls her Melissa. Everybody calls her Missy. So Melissa would be in her first name, but Missy would be in the salutation field. So again, remember, we all get blasted with all this email stuff and junk mail all the time. If you personally know Melissa and work with her, you don't want to send her an email blast that says, hey, Melissa, because she's going to say, wait a minute, you never call me Melissa. My name is Missy. So that's what you want to think about when you're setting things up. You can either put Missy in her first name, or you can put Melissa in her first name and Missy in the salutation, and then use the salutation field for everybody. When I'm cleaning up data or looking at data to be cleaned up, there are so many times in the first name field, you'll have Melissa and then in parentheses, Missy, because that's the nickname. And then all that has to be split out and cleaned up, because obviously you don't want to send it to Melissa, parentheses, Missy. That would really look terrible. So just bear that in mind. All right, I'm going to use first name. So you put in your first name field, you put your comma, and then you could put in the company name somewhere if you were typing something, are you tired of the same old coffee every morning at, and then I could click on here and choose account core name. Account core name is the account name without the site if you use the site field information. So then it would say the company name, and it would pull it in for each one that you send. So you create your templates, format them the way you want them to be, and then save it. And now it's ready to use. And you don't have to log out after you do this. Oh, and wait a minute, before I go there, I will mention this so I don't forget. If I created this and multiple people wanted to send this out, not just one person, then you click here and you click on share it. And then you can share it with all your favorite people. Okay, so hopefully that's everybody. Or you can just pick. He doesn't need it, he doesn't need it, but everybody else does. Okay, so then when you share it, then the other people, when they do log out and log back in, will have this November Coffee Specials template already created for them. So that makes it nice. Like I said, if there's one person that's really good at this, then that person can create all these wonderful templates and then everyone else can use them. All righty, now let's go use this. So I want to send these this template or some kind of communication out. And here's another thing you want to think about in your database if you have not already done this, is you want to create some sort of custom field that is a category field that says, well, what kinds of mailings should each person receive? So what I've done in my database, I created a custom field called communications. And it is a multi-select drop-down. And so what you would do is make a list of the type of communications that you plan to send out. Then you can assign what type or types each person should receive. Okay, so you call communications, you could call it mail lists. I got another one here called mail list. 2 different kinds of demos I did. Okay, and then that is used if I'm sending out this promotional on all the coffee specials. I want to find everybody that has a promotional communication type. So I come up here to my Spyglass, go to advanced search. And then when it comes up, I go to communications and I select promotional and click search. So I have, I think 219 total contacts. So 179 of those have promotional selected as an option. So I have now my promotional list. Now, if I'm going to send promotions out relatively often, I don't want to have to go do the filter again. Okay. So once I've done this, I can click on search options. And then the middle button here is to save it. This is to edit the filter. This is to save the filter or view. And this is to cancel it. So I want to save it. And I can call it promotion email list or just promotions if I want. So now what I have is up here in my dropdown, I have the promotion email list. So I can easily go back to all contacts. And then I can come up here and say, well, time to mail a promotion again. Bingo, promotion email list. Now I am going to bring this up because this is important to remember. You are using your outgoing Gmail or your outgoing Outlook to send these email blasts. And there are limits as to how many you can send at one time, okay? So before you start willy-nilly sending out 500 emails through your Outlook or your Gmail, you need to contact your service provider or talk to your IT person and find out what the limits are. Because if you start sending out email blasts and you go over your limits, your email will get blacklisted and you will not be able to send out any emails until you clear it. And it's not a pretty picture. My husband actually had his email address hijacked a couple months ago, unbeknownst to him. And suddenly he couldn't send emails out anymore. And he had to contact our service provider and they said, well, you've been sending out spam email. And he said, no, I have not. So it has taken him nearly 2 months to get it straightened out. So you don't want to get yourself in that pickle, okay? So you want to be sure that you're staying under your limits before you start sending an email blast, okay? So just a heads up on that. I want everyone to be aware. Now, if you have the marketing module, then you're able to send out up to 10,000 emails at one time, okay? Because you get 10,000 emails per month. And if you want to send all 10,000 out at once, you're able to do that because it goes through our email servers, not your Outlook or your Gmail. So just a heads up on numbers. All right, so we've got this and we've learned how to create a list. Now I'm going to switch to a special list that I have because all the emails here are to me. So I know they're legit. So I have created a special email blast list. So I would select my list, my filter, and then the next step is to select the records. So you click on here. And this will select the first 100 records. So on that other list with 179, it would have only selected the first 100, but no problem, because the next step gives you the option of what you want to do. So once you've selected, you click on actions and you have email contacts. Now, if you have the marketing module, you will see this and you would probably want to go here, but if you don't, you're only going to have email contacts. And then here's your choice. Are you wanting to send to all the records marked as checked or all filtered records? In this case, I can do records marked as checked. In the other one with 179, I would want to do all the filtered records. So if you're in doubt as to what to do, choose all filtered records. Then it will work, okay? Click apply. And Claritysoft will now open an email and it will list all of your recipients over here and it will tell you how many you have at the bottom, okay? And sometimes you might have let's say 150 people in the list of contacts, but when you get to here, you might only have 135. Well, that means 15 of your people don't have email addresses. So obviously it can't send to them. So, check that out because you want to see, oh, I have a number of people without an email address, okay? And then you can choose to remove duplicates here if you think there are duplicates in here. I don't want to do that because I would remove half my list. Even though they're connected to different companies, it probably wouldn't remove them. So now I have, this is coming from me as I'm the logged in user, all right? My signature is already here. And if I want to change it, it's up here. In this case, I want to go to my Best Coffees signature because this is coming from Best Coffees. And then I can choose my template. And my template is November Coffee Specials. Now, when you go to click on a template, people get confused. Should I click here or should I click here? You always want to click on the icon. If you click on the link, then you're going to open a web page and that gets you nowhere. So you always click on the icon and you get the little hand, and here you don't. And then that lays in your text. Notice it says greetings, first name, account core name. So this is your text. And then you have your signature. Now I had this in my template, but I think I'll take that out and maybe just put in Susan here. Okay. So I check it, make sure everything's good to go. If I wanted to add something else into the template, like maybe I just wanted to put, because these are special customers to me, I might want to type something special in there that would relate to all of them. So you can type anything else you want in here. You can format it a little differently if you want. So, you know, you're good. Your subject line comes in with the template, and then you're ready to send. Now, when you go to send, if you want to just send right now, you click the send button. If you want to send at a specific time or day, then you can click on the little triangle and then choose when you want to send it. Do you want to send it in a couple hours? Do you want to send it tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock? When do you want to do it? You can set a specific time. So you choose that, and then it basically just sits and waits until the right time, and then it'll automatically send itself. Okay. So I'm just going to send it. Hello. Then it confirms how many emails you're going to send. And this is good to pay attention to because it's entirely possible you selected all filtered records and you got 2,000 of them when you only meant to get a couple hundred. So check this and check over here before you're sending. So it's just confirming in case you're having one of those days where you're not paying attention because everybody's bugging you. So then these will go out, all right? And you will have then under each person that's the recipient, once these send, then they will show up in the closed activities. The other place you will see these. Now in yours, if you don't have the marketing module, this will say email manager here. So you'll go to email manager. Oh, they're coming through. And then you can choose email. It'll say email tracking. You will not have all these other tabs. You'll just have email tracking here. So here we go. Here are the ones I just sent. November coffee specials. Okay. They all completed. And these are all the companies they went to, all the contacts, okay, and the date and time. Now over here you have read count and last read date. Here is a sample I sent earlier today, and you can see that this one was read this morning earlier this afternoon at 1:05, and this one was read at 1:05. Now if I go over to my Outlook, here's the November coffee specials. So it has come through, all right. And just like it's supposed to in Outlook, doesn't download the pictures automatically. So there it is. This is coming in a little bit too big. I think I resized this at some point. Outlook does weird things when you need to have your logo in a size that is correct and not have resized it somewhere because it like magnifies it, it reads things weird. So if your logo comes in really weird, you want to go fix that, okay? So it's coming in to my email, and I guess that's the only one coming into here, but here are my other emails I sent earlier. So those are all there. Probably need to refresh my Gmail somehow, but they're coming in. So they are sent. Now, what'll happen is when I do click on things, it will ping back. It may take a few seconds to ping back. on the email since I read it. And then each time somebody actually opens this thing or clicks on it, it will ping back. So you might get a read count of, 2 or 3, but it'll say the last date and time. Let me refresh up here and see if, there it is. So I clicked on this one email 3 times. Okay, I opened it twice and I clicked on it a 3rd time. So it's saying this is when I last clicked on it. And look at that, it's exactly 3 p.m. How about that? Time to quit. So that's sending an email blast and then being able to track it. Once you send something out, it can be a single email that you've sent out, because anything that you send out of Claritysoft will be tracked in the email manager, the email tracking. And you'll be able to see, did the person receive it? Have they read it or not? And then you can kind of follow up on it in here to know that they did indeed read it, and then you can check, give them a call back or follow-up call or whatever you do. So this will always tell you from whom it was sent. You have a filter up here for time, what was sent out this month, what was sent out this quarter, and then you can select users. So you can select just yourself to see what you sent out versus what maybe everybody else did. So this is nice to have, to be able to see whether things went or not. So one of the things, like I said, numbers, also valid email addresses. You want to make sure that your email addresses are complete and correct as possible. Because again, if you start getting into especially the marketing module, and you're sending out, hundreds, thousands of emails per month, you're getting a score on how well your emails are doing, and so you bounced emails, bad email addresses, things like that. Also, even wording in your email can ping it that it's spam. This is why sometimes things land in your junk folder and sometimes they don't, from the same person or same company. It's because of wording usually. So there are a whole bunch of rules to learn on this. It's not just, oh, la-di-da, let's send out a bunch of emails. It is, you need to learn it. It's become a real science, so to speak, that you need to know the rules on it. So anyway, that is all things email. And let me go back to my PowerPoint here and get to my end. So first of all, thank you for attending. We had a really good group again today. We've had some really large groups the last month or so. I think the little reminders that you're receiving a couple days ahead of time are helping trigger you to remember to show up or sign up. So we appreciate that. We have 2 more webinars coming up in December before the end of the year, and then we'll have some new ones coming up in January. But if you need any help with anything and you're not in Quick Start with either myself, Linda, or Lori, our new person, then you can call support at 888-838-7487 extension 2, or email them at support@claritysoft.com. And then if you have any critiques, suggestions for new webinars, we're coming up on the new year, let me know, or let us know at info@claritysoft.com. We're always trying to think of things that are helpful to everyone. So, please let us know. We don't know if you don't tell us. So anyway, let's see, I've got a couple people here asking a couple questions. No, people, yes, I think if you were here, Outlook and Gmail both work. So it's there. So anyway, I think I answered everybody's questions. So have a good rest of the afternoon. And it is Thanksgiving week, so have a good Thanksgiving with your family and friends, whoever you're joining, if anyone. So we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks for the December webinars.